You know how we got called bigots for saying this was all just a phase? And then a lot of these individuals decided to go out and permanently alter their bodies to prove it's not just a phase? Well, Gen Z's gender craze cools as data shows non-binary identification among students declines. Oh, so it was just a phase. Oh, well, that's very inconvenient for those of you guys who decided to do the permanent stuff. Shocking new data, shocking to nobody with a functioning brain, shows the number of young people identifying as non-binary has plummeted. Oh, is it maybe because the virtue signal points aren't going as far as they used to? Is it maybe because now they're being ridiculed instead of being celebrated? And they're realizing, like, yeah, I'm not getting the kind of attention I wanted. I think it's time to end this. Now, Eric Kaufman, a politics professor based out of Vancouver, analyzed the data from the Foundation of Individual Rights and Expression, as well as universities, and discovered that non-binary identification has dropped significantly amongst Gen Z since current year -2. Funny how this is happening right around the time when people stopped being silenced when they spoke out against this. Data from FIRE, which polled more than 60,000 students at colleges across the U.S., shows that just 3.6% identified as a gender other than male or female. And I'm willing to bet a large chunk of them probably went all the way and did permanent damage, and now they're basically stuck. There's no going back from what they've done. In current year -1, that figure was at 5.2%, and in both current year -3 and -2, 6.8% of college students identify themselves as non-binary, a little more than double the percentage of college students who do today. Self-reported data from elite institutions tell a similar story. Yeah, the fad's over. The phase is over. Andover Phillips Academy in suburban Boston, which surveys 3/4 of its students each year, for example, reported that in current year -2, 9.2% identified as neither male nor female. This year, the figure is at just 3%. I'm surprised there's still so many of them that want to virtue signal. It's not going to get you anything. But again, like I talked about losing a friend to late stage TDS, he didn't catch TDS until this year. So I'm still very confused about that. Like, of all the times you could have joined the losing side, why is it right after the tables turned? Like, this is just weird. So maybe it's the same with these people. I don't know. At Brown University, a whopping 5% of students identified as non-binary in current year -3 and 2, but by current year, that share dropped to 2.6%. The grift's over, guys. It's unclear what may have contributed to this decline, but Kaufman notes that when the transformer and queer trends were at their peak, freshmen were more likely to be non-conforming of the gender and sexuality than seniors. And then some of them took things way too far, and now there's no going back. Yeah, but the important thing is, yes, the grift is over. They no longer get the benefits they previously got for claiming they were these things. So now that they can't milk it for their personal gain, they're just going to throw it away. Oh, now that bisexual, transformer, queer questioning identification is in decline, the reverse is true. Younger students are less alphabet soup than older students in their colleges. Yeah, because the younger students avoided that brainwashing, thankfully. Like, they were able to see what happened to their predecessors and decided, like, yeah, we're going to be careful not to go down this path as well. It's a sign that fashions are changing. Yeah, it was always just a trend, even though students' political ideologies have not changed. Oh, yeah. So the Democrats, like moderate Democrats, are finally starting to fight back against the far left extremists. Maybe they'll even get their party back. Who knows? I mean, Moms for Liberty, a conservative parents group, echoed the sentiment and as it reposted the findings on social media. It's no longer trendy to be a transformer, the group concluded. And they're right about that. They're 100% correct. The benefits they used to get for being transformers are gone, so now they're not transformers anymore. The groundbreaking survey marks a major turning point after U.S. Census data showed that 1 out of every 18 young adults identify something other male or female in current year -4 and -3, when combined with more than 2% of identifying as transformers. With 39 million 18 to 26-year-olds in the U.S., around 2 million young adults identified as transformer or non-binary, more than the population of Phoenix, the fifth largest city in the country. And those we called trans trenders, because they were only doing it because it was popular, not among anyone who matters, but I guess among their peer group. Once it's not popular anymore, they don't want anything to do with it. Like, see the tourists in every hobby. Once the hobby is no longer popular, the tourists don't want anything to do with it anymore, and they're trying to scrub all association they ever had with it. Yeah, that's a they-them problem. Fuck yeah. And about landmark 15-year study released last year found that most chillins who question their gender grow out of it. So it is just a phase. Researchers from the University of Groningen in the Netherlands tracked more than 2,700 children from age 11 to their mid-20s, asking them every 3 years about their feelings on gender. At the start of the research, around 1 in 10 expressed gender non-contentedness to varying degrees, but by age 25, just 4% said they often or sometimes were discontented with their gender. And I bet 100% of those were feminists with penis envy that are just bitter. So not really transformers. The study published in the journal Archives of Sexual Behavior found that overall 78% of people had the same feelings about their gender over 15 years. Around 19% became more content and just about 2% became less comfortable. Researchers concluded the results of the current study might help adolescents to realize that it's normal to have some doubts about one's identity and one's gender identity during this age period, and that is also relatively common. So what they're saying is, don't do anything permanent while you're in a temporary phase, or you're going to regret it, and no one's going to feel sorry for you because they're going to remember like what an evil douche you were to them when you tried to stop them and save them from themselves. So you're going to end up mutilated and with no one in your corner. And that's, I think, one of the main reasons why we have that famous statistic. It's the regret.